Hey guys, welcome back. So, in the last episode, we became broke again, but we unlocked ducking. So there's that. We got a rocky worm. Oh, buddy. Okay. I don't know why, but I thought soap would be a good name for a rocky worm. Okay, well, let's take a look at soap, shall we? We're going to have a guts rate of 16. Awesome. A life gain and power gain of 4. 3 to intelligence and defense. 2 to skill. 1 to speed. Blah, blah, I can't talk. 4 to life and power. 3 to defense. 2 to skill and 1 to speed. We like potato. That's awesome because we're broke. We have power and anger. 340 week lifespan with late bloom. Do we have any extra text? No, we don't. But that's okay because worms text ain't bad. I don't think we've raced a... Have we? Yeah, no, I don't think we've raised a worm yet. Okay, so let's see here. We can probably pick up somersault, maybe? I don't know. I think bite's fine. What do we got in range 3? I don't really want to pick up Pierce. We can pick up Tusk Slash. Man, I cannot talk today. I don't know. We'll play this by ear. I do know that we... So there's a couple things we could do here. And I think what we're going to do is we're going to be using this worm to make money. Okay? Because he's going to function as two things. He's going to make us money. And he's going to unlock us a beacon, something like that. So in order to do that, we can't go above rank C. And we have to eat 30 cup jellies by the time we're like 5 years old or something like that. Yeah, we're going to need 5 of those. For sure. And do we focus just on light drills? I think we do. We'll focus just on light drills. We're gonna take soap here nice and slow. So I have a feeling that this episode is going to be very chill, very relaxed. You know, maybe I'll tell a couple stories. This would be a good one to stream. I should not have scolded there. I should have not scolded. I don't know how else to say it. Yeah, our fear is way up right now. I mean, we're 150 points off stat cap. I'd like to get our skill up to at least 150. And then we'll put some power and life in. And we'll go ahead and probably rank up. And then, you know, we'll raise our power or skill up to probably 200. But yeah. Hopefully we're going to get a bunch of diamond marks. See, there's our second one so far. And this dude's only 3 months old, so he's got the luck. The luck of the worm, baby. Alright, well, I gotta scold you there just because I don't want you to get a bad nature. Like, come on, dude, no cheating. So we need to feed this thing at least 30 cup jellies. And I don't remember exactly how old he's got to be. I know he's... Does he got to rest on week 3? I'm going to have to look that up because I don't want to mess it up. I mean, it's not for a while. So we're A-okay for the first couple of years even, but... Because I kind of want to not only beat the game using the Nuzlocke rules, but I want to unlock all the monsters too. Like, we've got a good chunk of them. And we're also sitting pretty low on cash. And eating all these cup jellies ain't going to be cheap. And also we're late bloomer, so, you know, our stat gains are going to be kind of rough. It's alright. We ain't in no hurry. See, that's what I'm talking about, my man. That is what I'm talking about. We got 10 more accuracy to go. Now 9. You know, I don't know. I'm getting a very chill vibe this episode, though. Things are going to go good. We don't need to do no hair entries. Like, maybe after we turn into a Becklin. Or Beeklin, or whatever that thing's called. So, I don't know. What else can we talk about? So we've talked about a couple stories about me in the National Guard. Told a couple magic stories. I mean, really, what else is there? I guess I can say just a little bit about me in general. Like, I don't know. Is that something you guys even care about? One of you guys know me better than I know myself, probably. I don't know. Okay, so we got our skill to 150. Let's go ahead and do power now to 250. Let's see, I've been married now for almost a year. We've been together for almost 12, though. I got an 8-year-old son. He's my favorite little asshole in the world. I got 2 pups, Rhodesian Ridgebacks. I can't say pups, they're getting old now. I don't know, do you guys got any pets? I'm definitely more of a dog person than I am a cat person. Let's see, when I was a little kid, we used to have a bird. I don't remember what kind of bird. It was a talking bird, but not a parrot. I don't know, I was young. And man, was my dad a bad influence on that thing. Let's see. Our first, one of the earlier episodes-ish, we had the Zoom with a Baku named Buck. That was my first dog. He was a Dalmatian. Oh, he was smart. So, like I said, I was really young. I was probably about 5 with my earliest memories of him. We had him before then, but I don't remember much before 5. But I could ride him around the house. Like, he was a big Dalmatian, and I was kind of a smaller kid. We lived in like a city. Not like a city, not like... it's more of a township, I guess. I don't really know what you call it. The houses were close together, but it's not like New York City or anything like that. Like, nothing crazy by any means. But either way, the houses were, pretty close together, like in a neighborhood. And we could just open up the front door and let Buck outside. And he'd run outside. He'd play in the front yard. He'd never go on the road. People would walk by and he would just sit there and watch them. No barking. If you went outside and played with him, which I did a lot, he loved to play frisbee catch. You could tell him to do a backflip, and he would. Not only could he do a backflip, he could, as he was running, like if I threw the frisbee in the air and he'd jump up to catch it, I could point at him and yell bang, and he'd drop right out of the sky and play dead. I don't know, he was a really smart dog. However, he was a very protective dog. He did not like anybody who was not my mom or dad to get anywhere near me or my sister. And if my mom and dad would discipline us and yell at us, he would, kind of protect us. All right, let's finish the story in a second, because we are a year old. We have a nature of plus 55, stats of 834. We have 100 spoil, fear, and loyalty. 291 weeks to go, and we are still a baby. And now we have a form of plus 8. All right. So anyways, like I said, he would be very protective. of me and my sister. Well, that is when my parents got pregnant for my little brother. And they decided that they didn't want to risk it. So we ended up giving Buck away to one of my dad's friends. And as sad as it made me, because I love that dog, it was good for the dog. It was good for Buck. Like, he ended up getting like a steak dinner every night. Like, that dog his last couple years living with that man probably lived better than I am now. You know what I'm saying? Alright, so we are in childhood. And we have 45 more stats to go. And we have hit 250 power. So now we're going to work on life. Alright, so after Buck, we didn't have any other dogs. But we did end up getting some fish. And of course, the fish that we got were piranhas. Because, you know, what's more dangerous than a protective Dalmatian? Piranhas. But I don't know. They were fun. My dad let me feed them every now and then. So me and my sister both got hamsters. But my dad hates rodents, like mice and rats and stuff like that. So they didn't last long, which I was kind of okay with, because they were loud. Like, their cage was in my room, at least mine was. And every night when I was trying to sleep, that's all that thing would do, was just run in his cage. Okay, so we got a minute before our first tournament, and we only got 10 points to go. So we're going to have to hit up these tournaments right here, which is A-okay. You know, we're going to make some money. So let's run. And then we're going to go ahead and we're going to buy us a mango. Oh yeah, we can sell that strong glue. We've already used it. Oh, for 10 gold? Yippee. Alright. Let's see how Soap does here in his first tournament. Alright, so we're not doing a whole lot of damage. But I think we're going to be very hard to knock out. Alright. Herrick's is pretty tanky, so the fact that we got him down as low as we did, you know, that's good signs to come. I'm not a huge fan of getting Oakley Man here, but we should be alright. Hopefully. Come on, Soap. You can do it. You're going to need to spam hits like you were just getting hit. And that's exactly what you're doing. Don't let him build too much guts and straight you, though. Perfect. Way to rope-a-dope them. I don't think I've ever used worm in combat before. Like, I've raised one, but literally I just did what we're kind of doing now. Except it wasn't during... Ooh, that puts us at $8.99, so we are still able to do... You want potato? Sure. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll go ahead and hit this maple cup. Part of me wants to pull. We're going to. Let's go way over the stat cap. Well, as much as we can anyways. Alright, so that puts us at 12 over stat cap. So now we are just resting and fighting. We didn't win nothing from that tournament, did we? We did. Got some tiger chips. Alright, so we got one coming up in the 3rd week. Not gonna lie, guys, I kind of forgot what story I was telling. I know it was Buck. Then after Buck, we had the gerbils. That's right. Shoot, I might as well not even bother. Because we got another tournament. Oh, I was hoping for Leon. Alright. We can take on Lontar. We got enough intelligence where Spit's not going to do a lot of damage to us. I mean, we're a worm. We should be able to eat this plant, right? I mean, that's kind of how it goes. Yeah, just, you know, bite its stem off. There we go. You get on with your bad self there, worm. Alright, we've already fought Herrick's before. And I'm going to say we did pretty good. He's tanky, so we're not going to knock him out, I don't think. He's dodging a lot, too. Not a big fan of that crit. It's alright. Don't use all your guts. We got to save some. Oh, if we would have attacked instead of getting attacked, we would have knocked him out. Alright, so. We got old Green Eyes crying in the rain. Yep, you did wonderful. And yes, you can have a potato. I know it probably shouldn't, but how can you say no to that cute little face? Alright, so we got our tournament coming up. No tournaments in between. So we're just gonna rest. All right. Can we get out of rank E? I can't imagine we wouldn't. Alright. No Oakley, man. That's nice. So Juno Mule is our biggest challenge here. And I think we should have it. As long as we don't get, like, crit headbutted out. You gotta take advantage of the foolery, though, bud. One more. One more and you got this. Can we get the knockout? No, we cannot. It's alright. We still got the victory. Lantar was a pretty easy fight. So we will make sure we absolutely get him again. Just get right up close and bite him. Ooh, Lick's gonna take a lot of guts. Sorry about that. We got a text from work that I couldn't ignore. Alright. One more bite. One more bite. Come on. It's alright. So Soap doesn't like to knock people out. You know? He's a nice guy. I have a feeling that's going to change with Nats. But you never know. Alright. So, I think we're going to knock Leon out too, probably. Yeah. Just enjoying my Nats is giving up. I will take it. Do we even have to fight Herrick's? Yes we do. Otherwise we'll just have to fight him again. So we do got 2 chances to beat him though. There we go. Get some early bites in. Now quit attacking. Build your guts back up. That's alright. Now after about 20 seconds, I would have waited a little bit longer, but there we go. We got our knockout. Swept through that first tournament just like I knew we would. Made some money, gained some fame. Got a little bit of stats. Yes, sir, you did wonderful. Nope. No error entries for Soap. Alright, so let's get our skill up to 200 now. 200's a good number. Let me see something really quick. So, after we are 4 years old, on June. So we have to rest on June 3rd after we're 4 years old. So we got a while. LegendCup.com, folks. It is a lifesaver for this game. Let's get back on schedule. I like resting on the 4th week. Okay, so anyways, after we got rid of our hamsters, because they were driving my dad crazy and me crazy, it was shortly after that where my mom and dad got a divorce. And then we didn't have any pets for quite a while. My grandma ended up moving back in. Excuse me, let me pause real quick. Sorry about that. Had a coughing fit. Alright, so shortly after that, my mom and dad got divorced. My grandma moved back in. It was tough for my dad to try and raise me on his own. He did his best. Definitely can't complain. But after that, me and my grandma, we went down to the Humane Society and we adopted a 12-year-old Yorkie Terrier. And this little ball of fur was tiny. It weighed maybe 8 pounds. It knew 0 tricks when we got it. And my grandma wanted to change its name. But thankfully I talked the lady we adopted the dog from down at the Humane Society to convince my grandma that you can't change the name of an old dog. But his name was Killer. This little thing, sweetest dog I've ever seen in my life too. Didn't bark at nobody. Just liked to cuddle. His name was Killer. I ended up teaching him some tricks. You know, they say you can't teach an old dog new tricks. Well, you ain't tried hard enough. Because I did it just fine. I was thinking about naming a couple of our tigers after him, but I didn't know how much the YouTube algorithm was going to enjoy, you know, me naming one of my monsters Killer. Gotta play into the algorithm, guys. That's why I try and keep this stream, that's why I try and keep these videos PG-13 at least. Okay, so that takes our skill to 200. Now, let's go ahead and get our life up to at least 250. And we'll put the rest into power. Sweet. That'll be an extra 3,000 for us. Which is going to be nice because, yeah, we're only sitting at $3,000. We've already eaten 23 cup jellies. And I think all we need to do is just eat 30. More is okay, but not required, so. After we hit 30 cup jellies, we can switch to potatoes, because he likes potatoes. Alright, it is Soap's birthday. We got a positive nature of 78, 1005 stats, 100 spoil, fear, and loyalty. We're going to have a 25 plus 25 form, 234 weeks to go, and we are in adolescence. I don't know if I made the announcement to adolescence or not, because I'm just now noticing it, actually. At least I think I'm just now noticing it. I don't know. I'm kind of zoned out for this. What did I just say yes to? I want to sell it. There we go. And just like that, we're up to 6,300. And we are running. Alright, one more run. Perfect. That takes us to life 253. And now we'll just do some power drills. We are 60 points off a stat cap. And we got 5 more cup jellies to eat. Okay, so now we're sitting at 34 points under stat cap. When is our next tournament? At the end of this month. Do we go for... Yeah, we'll be fine. I got faith in Soap. That's 16 points under stat cap. Let's go ahead and buy 2 nuts oil. Let's do a pull drill. And that puts us 2 points under stat cap. My man. Go ahead and give him another nuts oil. And let's go ahead and rank up. Alright, so we shouldn't have no problem with anybody in this tournament. Gel, I don't know. A crit gel cube kind of scares me, but we got a lot of life, power, and defense. So we should be alright. And we got enough skill where we should be able to hit Pixie before she withers us out. Hopper is a monster we're going to need to get soon. All right. Can we take out Capella? I think we can. Ooh, we missed on the 88% chance to bite. That's rough. It's alright. We're tanking those hits. Oh, but we're missing our bites. Come on, buddy. One more. One more. One more. Ah, we couldn't knock him out, but we got the win. That's the important part. Alright. Now we take on Winston. Easiest monster in the game. Look at us dodging everything. Cha-ting. You bite us, we bite you. I don't know about you, but I think I'd rather get bit by a jello dog than a rocky worm. Alright. Hailfall's a pretty easy opponent because they don't build him right. Like, imagine if all that defense was into power and life. And skill. That's the right way to raise a arrowhead. Or they just need to fix defense. Our sting is better than your sting. Alright, one more attack. And we missed on the 88%er to go for the knockout. Oh, we got it anyways. Nice. Alright. Do we have to fight Pixie? So we got 3, 3, 2, 1. Yeah, because I'd rather fight Pixie once than have to potentially fight Gel again. Alright. We should only need one hit, whether it be a bite or a sting. As long as we don't get withered out beforehand, anyways. Alright, so Pixie's out of guts. Good night. Nice. Swept through that tournament. Yeah, you did a great job, dude. Here's the 27th cup jelly. Alright. I do want to look at something here. Okay, so we're rank C, and we cannot go above rank C. Shown next to monster's name on monster data screen. Card letter is relevant. Yep, okay. Our loyalty has got to be 80 or higher, which it's 100. We're working on the 30 cup jelly, and we're working on being 40 years old, or 4 years old. Not 40, holy cow. That'd be insane. Okay, so now we are sitting at 292 points off stat cap. Let's go ahead and get our skill up to 250. Okay. So back to story time. So Killer was kind of like Buck, where he was a really smart dog, and we could just let him outside, and he never would run out in the road. Well, one day it was right around New Year's Eve, and we let him out, just like we always did. Well, normally he doesn't like the snow, so he would only be out there for 5 minutes maybe, till he was ready to come back in. Well, it was like 30 minutes, and I'm like, that's weird. And it was nighttime, so I went out with my flashlight, and I called for him. He did not come back, which he always did. And I ended up finding him in the middle of the road, and he got hit by a car. Let me tell you what, I was devastated. I was like 12, if that. I was somewhere between 10 and 12. Well, like I said, that broke my little kid heart. And so it was a couple months after that when my grandma got another dog, thinking that would cheer me up. It did not, first of all. Like, I didn't want another dog. I liked my little old man Furball. Well, we ended up getting a purebred pit that had the, I think it's called Brendel pattern, where he was kind of like striped. Beautiful dog. And we named it Simon. And it took me a second, but, you know, I was enjoying him. I mean, what little kid doesn't like a brand new puppy? I mean, let's be for real. So, you know, I was working with him, and like I said before, I've raised basically any other dog, no problem, up until this point. Okay, that was our 30th cup jelly. So now we can switch to potatoes. Well, that dog was the dumbest dog that I have ever had my entire life or seen. One of his favorite things to do. So, I guess before the story, we're going to need a little context. In the house that I grew up on, it was like a really big rectangle basically, with, you could walk in through the front door, which was on, like, oh, how do I explain it? I guess I can kind of attempt to draw it. So the house was like laid out like this, where it was the short wall here, and then it was long, and then another short wall, and then it connected, okay? Well, our front door was here. And then here was our living room. Here was our dining room, and then our kitchen. Then there was a wall here, and then behind the kitchen was my room, and then over here was my dad's room. Okay, and then off in between the kitchen and the dining room was a hallway, and then there was the bathroom and another bedroom. All right, so you came through the front door, and all of this was wide open. Standing in this side of the house, you could see all the way to the wall that was my room. The living room was carpeted, but the dining room and the kitchen was hardwood floor. This dog would go all the way to as far as he could to this wall, right underneath of the window that was right here. Run as fast as he could and just slam right into the dishwasher. Like, I have no idea what he was doing. Like, his tail would be wagging the whole time. He'd get up, shake it off, walk on back to the window, and do it all over again. So we got 196 stats to go. I think once we get our power to 400, we'll put the rest back into skill. Or at least get skill to 300 maybe. But yeah, like, I don't know. And he wouldn't learn any new tricks. Like, I couldn't even teach that dog to sit. And the thing that really got me was his potty training. Like, I not only potty trained all my dogs since I was like a kid, but I helped potty train my friends' dogs too. Like, I've always been good with dogs. I could not potty train that dog. I tried everything I could think of. We would go outside and I would try leaving him in our backyard, which was fenced in. And it's not like he would whine to come back in or anything. Like, he'd be out there playing. And I'd go out to get him to bring him back inside so he could, eat and cool off and all that good stuff. As soon as he'd walk inside, boom, pee right on the floor. I'm like, dude, I don't know. I couldn't think of anything. But that was the reason why we ended up having to get rid of him. We gave him to another one of my dad's friends. Not the same one that took Buck, but another one. Good guy. I mean, he ended up being an outside dog, but first of all, he loved being outside even in the wintertime. So that wasn't an issue. And he had a dog house that was huge. It was almost like a shed that had, it was insulated and all that. It was warm in there. So nobody freak out. Like, the dog was taken care of. Do I have any other pet stories after that? Let's see here. That was Simon. We didn't have another dog after Simon because after we got rid of Simon, it was shortly after that my grandma passed away. And yeah. So when my grandma passed away I was in between 8th and 9th grade. So I would have been around 13-ish. 13, 14. That was hard on my dad. And so I ended up moving out when I was about 15-ish, 14 and a half, 15. I moved in with a friend, paid rent, got a job and all that good stuff. And they had dogs. I don't remember any of their names. They were good dogs though. All right. It is our birthday. We are 3 years old. We have a plus 91 nature, 1,288 stats. After this cake, we'll have 30 form, 183 weeks to go, and we are in adolescence too. So yeah, I mean, after I moved out, I bounced around from friend's house to friend's house, paying rent as I went, stuff like that. And like I said, each one of them usually had pets. There's one that I can think of that didn't. But every time I'd go over to see my dad, he moved in with my uncle, and my uncle had this dog. Let me tell you about this thing. You want to talk about a fuzzball? This thing was I think it's called a Chow Chow. Beautiful dog when it was clean, but it wasn't clean very often. When I say that my other dogs like to be outside, nothing like this dog. Even in the wintertime or like hot summer days, my uncle would try and bring it inside and it would fight him to stay outside. Like, he tried taking his like food and stuff inside. He just, nope. That dog loved to be outside. Didn't matter. Raining, snowing, sunny, windy. The only time that dog came inside was during thunderstorms. And even then, I don't think he was too happy about it because he sat by the door the whole time. Okay, so here's where I'm going to be struggling. We got 49 points to go. However, we got over a year to go before he cocoons and evolves. We can't rank up. So we're going to have to hit just random tournaments. Ooh, excuse me. And hope we don't get knocked out. Or do I just rest? I don't know. We're going to play it by ear. I don't think I'm too worried about any monster in rank C knocking us out. And we've already made money. So it's not like I'm like, well, we have to fight. So I don't know. We'll play it by ear. I guess to be fair, Soap doesn't like to battle. So maybe we just don't battle him? And we let him sleep for like a year? Feeding him all the potatoes? Alright, so we got 11 points to work with. And boom, that put us at stat cap. Alright. The Mandy Cup. Let's round robin. Another round robin. Another round robin. Where are all the elimination tournaments? All the way in spring? Yeah, we're just gonna rest. We're gonna rest till he evolves. I really wish they would have lowered the lifespan down to 3 years and not 4 years, but it is what it is. So yeah, anyways, I ended up bouncing around from friend's house to friend's house from 14 to 17, almost 18, when I moved in with, no, I guess it was 14 to 17, like early 17. I moved in with my sister, like right after my 17th birthday. And, or right before my 17th birthday, I should say. And that did not work out very well. At all. So I ended up moving back in with my dad from 17 to 18. And that's when like I said, I ended up dropping out of high school like 6 months early, which was so stupid on my part. I still got my diploma, but like, I don't know, I didn't get to walk or nothing like that. But because when I was 17 and I moved back in with my dad, that's when I contacted my recruiter to join the Guard. And, well, I turned 18 before school is over. And so she's like, well, you still need your diploma or GED to join the Army. And I'm like, well, all right, I guess. And then I'm going to blame me dropping out on her. I know it's my fault, but let's pass the blame a little bit here. She told me, she's like, listen, if you want, no training, just resting. She said, if you want, you can write a 250-word essay, submit it to this place called Miles Academy, which sounds made up to me, but whatever. And if your, essay is good enough, they'll mail you a diploma as long as you're over 18. So on my 18th birthday, I sent that in. About a week later, they mailed me a diploma. And then I was like, sweet. And then shipped off to basic training shortly after that. I mean, I ended up only being able to go to basic training like 6 months early or something like that. I don't know. It was stupid. I should have just waited. Graduated from my actual high school. Like, I had enough credits. I think I had enough credits when I dropped out. But you live and you learn. It was right after wrestling season of my senior year. I dropped out. I don't know who was more upset with me. My dad or my teachers. Like, when I told them I was dropping out to join the Army, they were like, dude, you got 6 months. Just wait. And I'm like, nah. I wasn't bad in school. Like, I had good grades. I played sports. Like, I don't know. I was in a hurry to do something. I don't know. So any kids that are watching this, don't drop out of school. You absolutely will regret it. Even if you think you have a plan. Learn from my mistakes. Alright, so soap is in prime, unfortunately. And what's really unfortunately is June. I think this is Yep. If he would have been born 1 month earlier, we would have just evolved. So we are going to be almost 5 when he evolves. Gosh darn it. Oh, we just turned 4. Plus 95 nature. 1,400 stats exactly. 100 form. 100 spoil. 96 fear. 98 loyalty. 134 weeks to go, and we're in prime. wasting it away. Eating potatoes. So yeah. But to continue on the pet theme, let's see here. When I was 26, or was I 25? Let me do some math real quick. I was 25. I was 25 when I met my wife. And we moved in together, I'm going to say after about a year-ish. Well, it was a couple months after that. She's like, hey, I want to get a dog. And I'm like, hey, I do not want to get a dog. Like, we already had a dog because we lived with her mom at the time. And her mom had a dog. Well, the reason why she said, hey, I want to get a dog, because her mom's dog had a litter with her mom's friend's dog. Well, as the father, you know, most of the time you're entitled to one of the puppies for free. Well, so my wife was like, I want one of the puppies. And I'm like, we don't need a puppy. Like, I don't know. I was against it. Well, of course, we got a puppy. We got one of the litter. And, yeah. And that is my my baby, Lola Lou. I'm sure you've heard her bark in some of the videos. We still got both dogs. The dad is... funny story about the dad, I suppose. So my mother-in-law rescued that dog from an abusive house. And the baby that was, you know, so the abusive house that they rescued him from had a, I don't know, he probably was like 3 years old. Well, he named the dog Rattlesnake. I don't know why. Nobody knows why. So we got a big old Rhodesian Ridgeback named Rattlesnake. And he had a litter of 9, I think. Pretty sure they had 9 babies. And, yep, so we got Rattlesnake and Lola Lou. It's funny, because when Rat was younger, he liked to get out of the yard. We had a big fenced-in backyard, and he would like to... No, we did not have a fenced-in backyard. We had a big backyard that was open that he was on a lead. So he had plenty of room to run. But any chance he got to get off that lead, he'd take it. Or run out the front door or whatever. And just run through the neighborhood. So we'd be outside walking down the road, calling for him. Well, when people are walking down the road yelling Rattlesnake, people tend to freak out a little bit. It was good times. Alright, so we are getting close to evolution. which is good because I can't think of any more stories to tell. And we're in subprime now. We literally rested through our entire prime. And to think, I used to get upset when we would have to rest through like adolescence. Do. We're just a chillin'. I am curious to see how good we could have done with this worm. Like, worms basics aren't bad. Alright, we should cocoon at the end of this month. I remember the first time I seen this screen. I'm like, no, my worm died. But he did not. Oh, I probably should have let you guys read that. Sorry, I'll slow down. Okay. So, we have a Becklon. And Becklon's techs are not as good as worms, I don't think. However, is there anything that we can pick up? Because we got the stats pretty much for anything. Okay, maybe not anything. I'm not really liking any of his moves. Okay, so we can get top assault. That's too bad we can't get rolling bomb. We could go for flying press. We could pick up all of his heavy techs. Yeah, let's do that. Let's pick up all of his heavy techs. So we'll end up picking up nothing in rank 2. Nothing else in range 1. We'll pick up dive assault at range 3. And then pick up flying press and range 4. Of course, we got to win this tournament first, but I don't see why we wouldn't. However, we only got range 1 attacks, so I don't know. Golem could be an issue. No snap. He actually got the heal off Tasty Banana. Okay, never mind. If he wouldn't have healed, we would have got a knockout. Alright, so Reckon is fast, but we did build up our skill pretty high. And we do have a very low or high, I don't know how you want to say it, guts rate. So we should get the guts correction. Yeah, we got coin flips. We're going to knock this dude out. Just keep moving forward, and there you go. I wish one of his basics was in range too. We should knock out Susvane too. Just body shots after body shots. Ghost. I don't know how I feel about Ghost actually. Like a Dove Bomb could hit pretty hard, but yep, that's what I figured. Because we only have range 1 techs, that's what we wanted to do, is just get up and either hit him with our horn or punch him. Alright, Golem. You're going down. Unfortunately, all of our skill is kind of wasted here. But we got a lot of life. So, perfect. Alright, Zamber here kind of scares me. Like, Zamber, if he can hit his bites, hits hard. And all of our moves are in range 1, so is bite. You can't use Fireball, it's super effective against bug types. That ain't fair. There you go. Get back in there and finish him off. My man. Alright, so Tongue Slap hits hard. Oh, that didn't even hit us that hard. Well, punch him, dude. What are you doing? Ow. You can't get hit again, dude. We don't have grit. No. 1 second. Okay, well. We still won the tournament. What kind of crap is that? Yep, Soap, you did a wonderful job, dude. And yes, you can have a potato. And you can even have another potato. Alright. So, unfortunately, that's the end of Soap. I mean, look at that face. Don't you just want to go up and pinch it? We finished at 5 years old. Plus 95 nature, 1,446 stats, 100 spoil, fear, loyalty, and plump. And we still had 84 weeks to go and subprime, which would have been obviously a whole lot different if we didn't rest through our entirety of prime. But we completed our goal and we unlocked Becklin. And I hope you guys enjoyed that episode. A whole lot of talking and my throat is sore. But either way, until next time, good luck. Have fun, guys.